Tributes pour in for Paul O'Grady after his sudden death at the age of 67.
Good evening, folks. You all right, yes?
The TV star made his name in the 1990s with his iconic alter ego Lily Savage. But alongside his comedy persona was a fierce campaigner, vocal about gay rights and AIDS when those were rarely discussed, and his love of animals was legendary.
There are a lot of people out there like you and I who love taking in dogs who want homes.
Exactly.
Exactly.
The joy that you get out of them.
The Queen Consort was among many sharing their sadness today. We look back at the career of the much-loved entertainer who will be missed by millions. Also tonight, controversy over the government's new plans to house asylum seekers in old military bases and even a former prison.
Unfortunately, on my flight, they didn't have an aisle chair on board.
The mistreatment of disabled airline passengers, how it seems wheelchair users are still not welcome aboard.
We're almost seen as like lower class citizens.
The children of most families on universal credits don't qualify for free school meals, and Germany welcomes the King and Queen, ceremony and celebration in Berlin.
This is the ITV Evening News with Mary Nightingale.
Good evening. Paul O'Grady's legions of friends, fans and admirers came from all walks of life, from those who delighted in his show business talents to campaigners, politicians and even royalty. And there is great sadness tonight after his death. Paul O'Grady passed away yesterday evening, unexpectedly but peacefully, in the words of his husband. He was 67. Many tributes have been paid to his trademark combination of acerbic wit and warm-hearted humour. First displayed, of course, in his drag act as Lily Savage. Others spoke of his fierce campaigning on causes close to his heart, like AIDS. And then, of course, there was his love of dogs, remembered by, among others, the Queen Consort. Rishi Davda reports.
The blonde bobside herself, Miss Lily Savage.
Savage by both name and nature.
Pack it up, thank you. So pack it up, I said.
Paul O'Grady's razor-sharp drag queen Lily Savage journeyed from small pubs and clubs to a string of TV shows.
I'm not drunk, it's these mules that are death trap. Honest to God, Bob, I haven't had a drop.
People say to me, why would you never get up as yourself and do stand-up? And I always say, because that'd be my opinion. And I'd be scared of offending, to tell you the truth. But as Lily, you can get away with murder. You know, you can just stand there and talk a load of nonsense, which I quite frequently do and get paid for it.
But Lily made way for Paul in the early 2000s, when he was given his own chat show. Pointed put-downs evolved into a warm comedy loved around the country.
Watching Paul was always a joy because he was so funny, but he made it look easy. He did all of his homework, he worked really hard, but he made everybody feel comfortable. A couple of times when I was on his show, it was just like being in his house. You know, it was just like having a conversation. He was the master, and he will be really sorely missed. He really will. He was a very, very special man. We'll not see his like again.
Has she got this thing on?
Lily was born in the late 70s, best known for her bleach blonde wig and stilettos. Her laughs helped bring change, paving the way for LGBT representation on screen. She became a fixture at the Royal Vauxhall Tavern in London, which in 1987 was raided by police wearing rubber gloves over fears of catching HIV and AIDS. O'Grady was arrested, but undeterred, and continued to use his platform to demand equality.
Paul was a cultural warrior for LGBT+ rights. He used his talent and creativity, he used his mass audience appeal as a way of projecting an understanding and acceptance of LGBT+ people. He broke down barriers, and all of us have benefited from that. He went from victim of homophobia to victor, overcoming homophobia and making his mark.
I said fabulous prizes. it.
From Blankety Blank to the Paul O'Grady Show, he found his home in others' living rooms. Last year, Paul, an animal lover, was joined by the Queen Consort for a special episode of For the Love of Dogs. The royal family paid tribute, saying the Queen Consort was deeply saddened to hear of his sudden death at the age of 67, and that his warm heart and infectious humour lit up the lives of so many. Elton John posted, "Thank you for all the joy you brought into the world. You went places nobody had gone before, and we will miss you very much." While Julian Clary wrote, "Farewell to my fierce and funny friend. I'm going to miss you." Paul was also honoured in the House of Commons.
He was a national treasure and a true Northern star, and he will be greatly missed.
Well, good evening and welcome to my little show. Now, you'll have to excuse the way I'm dressed because I've just come straight from work. But
As well as entertaining one generation, Paul inspired another.
Lily Savage is a massive inspiration. I don't think just to me, but to like anybody who's been doing drag over the last 30 years. Lily Savage has been the sort of pinnacle of what is it that we want to do in the UK particularly. It's that the back and forth with an audience and the razor sharp comebacks and wit.
A TV treasure described by those who knew him as wonderful, genuine and naturally funny.
Well, let's talk to our arts editor, Nina Nana. Nina, there's so much sadness, isn't there? People are expressing it from all sorts of walks of life. What was it about Paul O'Grady, do you think, that inspired such devotion?
You know, a huge number of people have been affected by Paul O'Grady's death. Most of them, of course, didn't meet him. That's what he meant to so many people. That is the testimony of the man. Those of us that did meet him, yes, he was charming, he was witty, really funny, and he was a really generous interviewee. And he had that thing, which is instant likability. And that is gold dust for a TV presenter, and that is what made him work on screen. That is what made him so popular. But I do think today his close friends and family can perhaps take some comfort from how much we've heard about Paul O'Grady, the campaigner. Remember, he was born in an era when homosexuality was illegal. He performed in clubs, as we've heard, where police raided wearing rubber gloves as it was the height of the AIDS epidemic. Those are the things that informed his life as a campaigner. Social media today has been absolutely chock-a-block with people saying, Paul O'Grady, thank you for letting me be who I am and grow up to be who I am and be proud of who I am. So Paul O'Grady, great presenter, but a really important figure both on and off the screen.
Oh, Nina Nana in Norwich there, thank you.